Have you heard of the term debanking? This is something that is very common in, say, countries that have social credit scores, digital currencies. It's like, hey, you said something we didn't like. We're gonna turn off your credit cards. You said something, offensive. We're gonna say you can't travel or you can only play video games for so many hours in a day. These are common things in places like China, probably North Korea too, and increasingly common in the United States of America. See, at the top of technology and the gatekeepers of the world are about five companies. If you take all of the credit card companies and all of the tech companies who control 99% of the data and money, you're talking about less than 10 people. They have incredible control over us, and they exercise it whenever they see fit. This morning, a Twitter account known as Libs of TikTok, which reposts crazy people's TikToks from Twitter essentially, but has been recently getting a little bit more into the activist side of thing, found that they had been debanked. That Stripe, which is one of like three credit card processors in the world, Stripe is probably as a percentage by far the largest. It is the default credit card processor for, places like, anybody that sells online for the most part, had decided that we don't like your Twitter posts, so we're going to take away your ability to get paid. And not only cancel your account, but steal and keep your money that people have paid you. All, at least in my opinion, due to two ongoing smear campaigns. The first is this ridiculous one from NBC News and other places about because she made tweets, she was then somehow responsible for other people calling in, threats to places. She never directed anyone to do that, any of that kind of stuff. Right? But you get articles like this after Libs of TikTok posted, at least 21 threats followed. Okay, you could literally insert anybody's Twitter account, anybody's tweet, and say the exact same thing. After the quartering tweeted, 17 people were struck by lightning. Okay. At no point do they make any kind of reasonable bit of evidence that she was responsible for it. But they print this crap anyway. Then, as of yesterday, there has been a new insane smear campaign. There was a kid who they're trying to trans George Floyd this kid, essentially. Okay. A kid had something bad happen to them, and some bullies went after them, and then they, I guess, passed away the next day, which is tragic and sad. The entire internet blamed Libs of TikTok. Why? No evidence. And oh, by the way, as of this morning, the kid who passed away, it wasn't even related to the incident that happened. They had some sort of other health issue. Now, they haven't said what, but essentially what had happened is they say, Libs of TikTok makes fun of LGBT people, therefore everything that bad that ever happens to them is Libs of TikTok's fault. The bullies were girls, by the way, in the girls' bathroom, okay? So they tried to blame it on her, even though, as I reported this morning, she passed away from completely unrelated things. You see a lot of Operation Trans Floyd floundering right now. You see, according to her own text messages, they escalated the verbal confrontation to a physical confrontation, and then they sent them home with painkillers. Yeah, this person's own text messages said that she threw water on some people because they were making fun of her, or him, or whatever, them, and then they got a beat down. So they attacked somebody and then got a beat down. And then they passed away the next day, but at least according to the latest reports, completely unrelated to that incident. But the Oklahoman and many other people are happy to report that it's libs of TikTok's fault. Evidence? Nah. No evidence. You see this person, Chaya Raichik, targeted that child's school district 2 years ago and got a queer teacher fired. Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't the teacher's behavior. The superintendent put her on the state's Department of Education. Today, the child is dead. And Chaya is waltzing around Los Angeles. I'm so angry. A child! Completely unrelated. Completely unrelated. This is somebody who lost an election in Missouri very, very badly. Chaya Raichik promotes the hate that is literally killing little ones. Again, this kid did not pass away from this bullying that they themselves admitted to escalating. Okay? Not to mention, you see this person, please share this information on how, quote, you know this is a direct result of hateful rhetoric. Because there was no actual connection of the two. It sucks that this kid passed away, obviously, but it sucks worse that people are sullying what is, obviously not a result of tweets and worrying about the tweets instead of whatever actually happened. I don't know what actually happened, but I know it wasn't libs of TikTok tweeting. So then this morning, libs of TikTok tweeted, breaking my Stripe account. Stripe has disabled my account. They're also holding on to my funds and won't release them. I called and emailed, and they aren't giving me a straight answer. This has been going on for a month. Nobody has been able to subscribe to my newsletter, and my funds are frozen. She then called out Elon Musk and said, you sure you want to partner with Stripe for X payouts? They will just disable accounts if they don't like your views. Doesn't seem aligned with your free speech objectives. Now, in my experience, the CEO of Stripe has been more understanding than others, but curious. It's very curious. I'm also worried about, Locals, which is where I get my support. They use Stripe. I wonder. Also, update. Now, Stripe fixed the account after a massive outrage on Twitter. Took 30 minutes, all thanks to backlash on X. I really tried handling this internally before blasting them. Thank you, X. I think we're all wondering what Stripe and Patrick Casey are doing to make sure this doesn't happen again. Hey, blank from Stripe here. Sorry for the issues. We're fixing now. And then it's fixed. 30 minutes is all it took. The upshot of this is, unfortunately, if you're not Chaya Raichik, if you don't have the ear of literally Elon Musk, do you think that she would have got this fixed so quickly? I doubt it. I don't think this gets fixed suddenly if somebody from Stripe isn't noticing that Elon Musk is there, getting tagged in this, because Elon responds to her all the time. Now, is it some rogue employee inside? Don't you remember? Does anybody remember when Jack Dorsey still owned Twitter and some rogue employee banned the Trump account? It's possible that this was just some woke, employee. Totally possible. But yeah, the world needs more payment processors. Obviously, there's parallel economy. But understand that when people get debanked or, removed from these payment platforms, this is one thing a lot of people in like the quote unquote culture war, they still don't pay attention to it. I know, for example, Tim Pool does integrate parallel economy into his site very smartly. That's Dan Bongino's, I think. But I think there needs to be more. Obviously, there needs to be more than just parallel economy. And these websites like Rumble, for example, Locals, and Twitter probably should be looking into very strongly how to integrate that. Because if you aren't Chaya Raichik from Libs of TikTok with 2.8 million followers on Twitter, you probably never get this fixed. They probably just successfully silence you and take away your income. So my point is, we need more variety in the tech world. Absolutely. And we need it sooner than later.